The boy was excited, sliding all over the sidewalk to get back to Alina.
She said it's fine. I have to be back in front of the church in an hour, and I have my phone ready to go. I know it's weird, a 28-year-old man taking orders from his mommy, but she is very protective, and I owe her more than I can ever repay. But I am so pumped to be helping you, Miss Sylvia. I'll try not to talk your ear off, but I have a lot of questions I've always wanted to ask you.
He did a fist pump in the air, and then realized he was too jazzed, stuffing his hands in his pockets, kicking at the dusting of snow on the ground to cool off. Alina, please. Miss Sylvia is way too formal. She waved her hand ladylike in front of her face, humbling, then pointed forward down the street. My next hanging spot is 3 stores down. I wasn't expecting an adventure today, and I am usually a quiet person in real life anyway, so I hope I don't bore you. Once more she tried a smile, this time a little warmth entering it. He noticed. It made him catch his breath and fill his heart with glee. He flung his arms outward to show his wingspan, a fan of dramatics.
Not at all, Alina. Let's get this party started.
Slowly they ventured forward, blending into the city residents, zooming through their lives, blurs they would never know, strangers that stayed strangers. They crossed the crosswalk, Alina giving him a thoughtful sideways glance. So, before I answer all your pressing questions, I think you owe me an answer to my unspoken one. I'm not used to people reading me that well. It surprised me. I mean, if you don't mind answering, sorry, that was rude. Her feet became her focus, wishing she could cram them in her mouth. Alina could feel his smile without looking at him. His charming voice melted her out of her scared state.
I'm just good at reading people. Lots of practice. And I've seen that look a million times, even from the most neutral people. That burning curiosity and sadness. It's to be expected.
He shrugged, blowing out air into the darkening skies to make his own clouds. Once they arrived at their first stop, she got directions on where to place them. To her chagrin, the store was eager to promote her. The boy stuck out his hand once the poster was in its new home, a tender and deep expression on his face that caught Alina's full attention.
But I do owe you an answer. I've been in the hospital off and on for half my life, and I didn't formally introduce myself. My name is Ezra Brookman Shea, and I'm dying of a brain tumor.
Alina knew her face was benumbed, her mouth rudely and idiotically agape, the setting sun casting a haunting shadow behind this man whose life was ticking. Yet he was no longer a stranger. Ezra, as he was called, allowed the flurries to outline him in pure light, his essence for the world shining in his simple smile. It was all factual to him, a part of who he was. That further broke Alina's heart. How was she supposed to react now with that bomb? Dryness hardened in her throat, words trapped inside, but her cracked lips moved, still trying to form stuttering movements. And yet she didn't know what to say. Her mind was blank and too full at once. Still, he patiently waited, allowing her to collect her thoughts. A pang hit her when Alina realized he had been through this before, more times than someone ever should. Finally, the critical thinking part of her brain awoke, connecting Alina to her philosophy on tragedy, one she had followed since she was an observant child. Thank you for being so upfront about it with me. It shows a strong soul, which is admirable. A sad smile pulled Alina's lips a little on its own, her heart filling with the warmth of honesty, contentment, and sorrow. She learned a long time ago, watching those who suffered losing a loved one, crying and trying to hollowly nod when they heard, "I'm sorry for your loss," 100 times, hunching down to hide from the world. They were slowly chipping away. It makes their loss more real, more painful, although the hearts of the mourners were in the right place. So even as a girl, Alina refused to apologize for the loss of a life, but thanked those who loved them most for making them a part of the world, and then shared a memory Alina had with them if she could. She always got a reaction, a jolt, and was